The Wally Show podcast is our daily radio show heard live through the WayFM app each morning and hosted by Wally, Gavin, and me, Betty Rock. For more fun, be sure to connect with us at wayfm.com/Wally.
The Wally Show podcast is brought to you by Colorado Christian University Online, where Wally teaches and where you can earn a degree online just like Betty Rock. You can learn more at ccu.edu/Wally. This podcast is also brought to you by United Faith Mortgage. Let their direct lender advantage save you time and money.
Uplifting Way FM.
News can be a little heavy, so we like to do news-ish. Here's Betty.
More and more, we are hearing of people putting Apple AirTags in their luggage, and for good reason. From last year alone, 1.9 million bags were mishandled by U.S. airlines.
I fully understand this. 9-day cruise, my bag did not arrive anywhere.
Insane.
Got it 16 days later.
Woo, that's a lot of baggage.
And you know how they always tell you stories like, oh, well, the airline will cover your expenses.
Yeah.
It's like garbage. Garbage.
Lies.
It took me so long to get back a third of what I had ended up needing to spend.
Well, so having an AirTag in your luggage is a good guarantee that if the airline can't track your bag, at least you can.
Yeah.
That's what one man did when he landed at the Atlanta airport. His bag never made it out. So he opened up his phone to look at the AirTag app and realized his bag had actually been taken. It was leaving the airport. With security, they're standing there, but they don't even realize it's been taken. Yeah. And claiming there wasn't much that they could do to help him. So the guy took matters into his own hands, following the AirTag to where it's pinging, and finds the man who allegedly stole his stuff.
This silver one right here, I have a tracking device in here, and I tracked it here to you. And you have my shirt on. That's insane. My shirt and my jeans.
Wearing his stuff.
Okay, so the guy's wearing his stuff. What's the story behind that?
Well, I guess he was homeless, and so he was arrested. But it brings up a valid point that I've never thought about. But anyone can walk into an airport and take luggage. Of course, airport security is there to hopefully spot a thief, but obviously it didn't work in this situation, and it makes you wonder, from those 1.9 million bags that were mishandled last year, were any of them stolen?
Yeah.
Probably.
Right now, the airlines are all releasing a press statement saying, yes, every one of those bags was stolen by homeless people. Like, it had nothing to do with us. We did nothing wrong, But that's a fascinating thing that some airports, they'll do spot checks on the way out to check your luggage tag that you have, but it's so rare. Like I actually haven't seen it happen probably in the last 2 years, and that was in New York.
Well, because they have 1.9 million bags that they're trying to track down, that's a lot.
Yeah.
But if it's just up to you and your AirTag, you can make it happen.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna start AirTagging my bags.
Should.
Yeah, especially after that last fiasco.
Right. Or you had to spend, $75
on one shirt?
On one shirt, because you didn't have anything.
I didn't have an option. I was on a cruise, and it's like they were ripping me off, too. It's like everyone's trying to take my money that day. All right, that's going to do it for your news. Thank you, Lady Rock. Uplifting Way FM. This is The Wally Show, and we play a lot of great songs here, and they're more than just songs. The message in them is vital, and it's important, and we picked songs based on the message that's in there and how it speaks to people. That's a big component in that. And especially when you see things on TV like the tragic shooting here in Nashville, and you look at that and you look for hope, or you look at things going on in your own life, and sometimes people's words fail, and they have the best intentions, but they just don't. It doesn't land the way a song can land sometimes. And so that's what I'm kind of really curious about today. Like, what is that song that you have found healed in a time of hurt? Like, you were just down in it, man. And it could be any reason that you have going on in your life, or something you see all in the news, and you just were feeling hopeless or despair, and you hit this song and boom, it clicked.
And what I like too is when you find that song that, like you said, clicks with you, when you're going through that rough time, you find that song being stuck in your head.
Yes.
And so you can recall those words a lot easier than you can having a conversation with someone.
Yeah, there's Casting Crowns, Praise You in the Storm.
Now praise you in this storm.
I've always called this song the poster song for pain because, I mean, it's perfect for it, you know?
Yeah.
But that, like, and this is years and years and years ago that this was written, and there's been a ton of other great songs. I was reminded of one in light of the shooting in Nashville at Covenant School, which was just horrible. I was reminded of another song that doesn't sound like a, you know, impassioned ballad or whatever, but I think there's so much truth in it.
Why does kindness seem revolutionary? When did we let hate get so ordinary? Let's turn it around, flip the script, judge slow, love quick. God help us get revolutionary.
That's Josh Wilson. You know, why does kindness seem so out of the norm, you know, and hate is just so in our DNA. When you see something like the shooting, you're like, it makes you ask questions. And this is a great thing and a great song that reminds us that, you know, our kindness and our love should be revolutionary. That's what we should be known for. And that's how we're going to change things, you know. And so those are just a couple examples. We'd love to get yours right now. 855-33-WAY-FM. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. What is a song that just, like, you felt healed in a time of hurt? We'll take yours now. 855-33-WAY-FM. What is that song, Beatrice, that you have found helped heal in a time of hurt?
In the Eye of the Storm. You played it a few minutes ago, and when I heard it this morning, I say, thank you, Jesus, because this is the message that I needed for the day.
In the eye of the storm, you remain in control. Yes, you do, Lord. In the middle of the war, you guard my soul.
Yeah, this is a great song, and it's super poignant for going through the difficulties of life. So why did you need this song in your life?
I need it because of things that are going on. It's like, it's nonstop. I can't get a break. So when I get something like that, a message like that, it just encourages me and it helps me.
Well, I'm really glad that you got to hear that, because you could have been distracted today with something else going on, or anything could have prevented you from hearing that. But I do believe that God gives us ears to hear what we need when we need it. And I think that that's a God moment for you with this song.
That's correct.
Well, Beatrice, we appreciate you being on the show with us today, and I hope that, like, you have a better day and have some wins today.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, and if you need a laugh kind of too today, because that helps, here is something we did with Ryan Stevenson centered around his song Eye of the Storm. It's pretty funny, and it involves a lot of water and a leaf blower. So you might want to check that out. Just text the word STORM to 91979. That's STORM to 91979. What is that song that really helped heal you in a time of hurt?
It definitely was Great Are You, Lord, All Sons and Daughters.
It's your blood in our lungs, so we pour out our praise. We pour out our praise. It's your blood in our
My sister was diagnosed with COVID back in 2021. She was on the ventilator and in critical condition and not expected to make it. And we were all standing outside the hospital praying. And when I got back in my car to go back home, that song was on. And the part where it says, it's your breath in our lungs, just really, really hit me hard. And it was that next day that she actually made a turnaround. And she eventually recovered and came off the ventilator. And every day when I hear that song, it hits me the same way. And I just burst out into tears just thinking of that moment.
Boy, that is a great song, and I love the personal connection to it for you. And I appreciate you bringing that up, because who knows, man, somebody else walking through something right now might need to hear that song, and that's the words that they were searching for. So I appreciate you sharing that with us, Donna. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
So, Randy, what is a song that you have had kind of heal you in a time of hurt?
Even If by Mercy Me.
I know you're able and I know you can save through the fire with your mighty hand. But even if you don't.
This is one of my favorite songs for going through trials because of the message of it. Because it's not like this perfect outcome type thing, right, Randy?
Right. I have a son that's special needs. He has cerebral palsy and leukodystrophy. Whenever he was born, they told us he would live to be approximately a year old, and he just turned 29.
Oh, wow. Holy cow, he beat all those odds. But I'm sure it hasn't been easy, huh?
No, it hadn't, but I've learned a lot from him because he only sees the good in people. He never sees the bad.
I love that, man.
I used to be bad about holding grudges, and he's taught me to let a lot of that go.
And it's such a great song because really the heart behind the song is God is still good even if things don't go the way I would have designed them. And I think that that's how a lot of life works for most of us. And so having a song to remind us of that is really important. So, Randy, I appreciate you sharing your story today. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Krista, you're up. What is that song that has kind of helped heal you in a time of hurt?
It's gonna be okay.
Oh, yeah, the Tasha Layton song, Into the Sea.
Though the mountains may be moved into the sea, though the ground beneath might crumble and give way.
So what is it about this song that has helped you?
So in November 2020, my daughter was attacked by her ex-boyfriend, and he stabbed her multiple times.
Oh, Lord.
And the next morning, it was, I can't even tell you what it was. The next morning while I was leaving the neighborhood, the moment I pulled out of the driveway, that song came on. And those words that it starts with, my heart is breaking in a way I never thought it could.
My heart is breaking in a way I never thought it could.
That just hit me. And it was just exactly the song that I needed to hear at that moment. I have no doubt that God sent that song.
Is your daughter okay?
She is okay. She's had 8 surgeries to correct all of the issues that were caused by the incident, and she may have more, but physically she's okay, and mentally she's recovering. There's still some incidents. If there's a loud noise at night, obviously that still bothers her, but...
Sure, that even freaks out Gavin, and he hasn't been through what your daughter's been through. So, well, man, I am so glad that you got that song to hold on to in your life, and I'm glad that you took the time to share your story with us today, too, because you never know, somebody else might be Googling right now, like, wait, I need that. What is that song? So thank you so, so much.
You're very welcome.
In my family, we kind of have a motto, and it's finish strong. And I wanted to instill the idea in my daughter from a young age that it's easy to start something, but it's harder to see it through to the end.
But when you do, it feels so good. I started and finished 2 degrees at Colorado Christian University, and I'm so glad I did.
So why not start your degree in 2023 so you can do more in 2024?
Some of CCU's degrees can be completed in a little over a year. Like in the healthcare industry, you can finish your RN to BSN online nursing program with 9 courses in as little as 14 months without changing your work schedule.
Plus, if you started somewhere else and have not finished yet, make this your year to get it done. CCU has a generous policy for transferring credits from other colleges. In fact, you can even get a scholarship for transferring credits.
So don't put it off another day, because when 2024 rolls around, you could be finishing up a degree or wishing you had started in 2023.
Colorado Christian University is a nonprofit impact partner committed to cultivating the mind without compromising the heart.
Using faith and facts to combat fear. Here's today's big story on The Wally Show.
So, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee has called for prayers in the wake of Monday's deadly mass shooting at Covenant School. And he said, there's a time to talk about legislation, but I'm calling on people of Tennessee to pray. Pray for the families of the victims. Pray for the Covenant family, for those courageous officers, for the family of the shooter, and for those who are hurting and angry and confused. Prayer is the first thing we should do, but it's not the only thing, and I do agree with that. I mean, we still have to work towards solutions on things, but a lot of times prayer is our last resort, and most of the time it should be our first resort, or probably all the time, He said, there'll be a time to talk about legislation and budget proposals that we've brought forward this year, and there's clearly more work to do. But on this day after the tragedy, I want to speak to that which rises above all else. The battle is not against flesh and blood. It's not against people. The struggle is against evil itself. And that's a really interesting thing. There's a little bit of Bible in there, and I love that he's, quoting that. But he's right, that there's an evil in this world that seeks to destroy it. And then the Bible tells us that, and we're living in those days.
Right, and I hate that it seems like kids are facing more danger than a grown-up
Yeah.
is. And that's not right.
Yeah, and it's easy to get mad at legislators like Congress or Governor Lee when things like this happen, but this one hit close to home for him. He's not removed from this tragedy. He said his wife had been friends with the two faculty members, the two women that were killed. They've been friends for decades. And in fact, the substitute teacher who was killed was supposed to come over to dinner at their house that night.
Whoa.
And so it's like, yeah, he's not this distant, aloof person that's just working on the mechanics of this. Like, it's personal to him as well. And so personally, you know what, I think stricter gun laws would be great, and I say that as somebody who owns a gun, but I'm responsible, but I think that there's room for that to improve for sure. But sadly, honestly, I don't believe that that's what's going to stop these shootings. The breakdown of family, the breakdown of morality, the breakdown of mental health. Like, these are the things that are probably the major culprit in this scenario that need to be addressed in addition to the gun law conversation. Just to do one or the other isn't going to solve it. You've got to have a multi-pronged approach if you want to lessen it. Honestly, you're never going to solve it. We live in a broken world where people are going to do bad things. But if we can lessen it and lessen tragedies that people have to go through, and sadly, like Betty's saying, innocent children that bear the brunt of some of this stuff,
right?
If we can lessen that, that's a win for all of us. And so it is just a good reminder from Bill Lee that, to pray for all of these people. And I know it's hard. It might be the hardest prayer you pray today, but pray for the family of the shooter as well, because that's what we're called to do. That's what makes our faith difficult, but makes it also different from every other world religion. So there you go. That's an update on that story, and maybe some ways that you can pray today too. Uplifting Way FM, this is the Wally Show, and we all like to save money, and be good with our finances, but there are some things that you're like, you know what, I'm going to splurge on this. I need a little of this in my life. I need to treat myself.
Treat yourself.
Exactly. Woo. And recently, Gavin treated himself to a very expensive movie ticket. How much did it set you back?
So it set me back $27.
Oh,
which,
my word.
Wait, did you get a small popcorn? Is that what it was?
No. This is singularly the movie.
Just the ticket.
And I'm not going to lie, I still got a medium drink. And
so now you're up to $50.
Yeah, exactly.
It was an overspend, but it was on a 4D movie.
Now, I've never experienced this, and I don't even know fully what it is.
So you go into this theater, and nowadays you have so many recliner theaters. Yeah. This one kind of goes back to the basics, but you kind of have to step up into this almost like...
Well, some people that are above 5'7" don't have to.
No one else had to step up that day. Gavin's like, "Can I get a boosty chair?
Can you help me up, please?" I didn't see that coming. So when I sat in the chair, though, they have this little button that says "Water On."
Oh no!
And then they go through this little preview that sets you up for it, and it's basically like riding a roller coaster, because we were seeing an action movie.
Yeah.
And so anytime there's like a punch, it kind of shakes the chair.
Really?
Or if you're on a car chase, you're moving a little bit with the car. If you're on a boat, you're bobbing up and down with the wind in your face.
That's pretty awesome. So it actually gives you wind too?
Yeah, it was outstanding. And if there's like water, there's a little bit of mist that comes down. Okay. Not enough to fog up your glasses, but enough to make you feel like you're at sea.
That's pretty cool.
Big question though. Like, you're like, that was a great experience. Would you do it again?
So I would do it again, but I'm going to say that that's a like twice a year type of experience.
Right.
And I think it has to be paired with the right action movie. Obviously, they won't do it with like a rom-com or anything.
Right.
Which is what I go see.
The only water that is like tears.
Yeah.
So when someone's crying, it's like they spray you with salt water.
And that's not worth the $27.
No.
But, 2 hours of...
It'd be interesting to see if that becomes the norm, because we always want to elevate our entertainment. And so, is this one of those things that's kind of in trial, but it's like, oh yeah, a lot of people are doing it. It's
I
fun.
could see it going this way, because with the pandemic that happened, a lot of people now wait until it comes to TV. And sometimes they even release a movie that goes to theaters as well as streaming services.
Right.
So the theater has to up their game to make it where people want to come
That's
back.
a great point. It might be the thing that helps keep the movie theater industry going as well. So there you go. That was Gavin's splurge. And you say worth it, right?
I say worth it.
Okay.
You just can't do it too often.
All right. So what is the thing, your last splurge, that you're like, you know what? It was a splurge. Totally worth it. Okay. 855-33-WAY-FM. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. We'll take yours now. Clayton, what was your last splurge and was it worth it?
I got a motorcycle, and it has become my pride and joy. Talking about being worth it, it's totally worth it.
Okay, now a couple questions here. Is it a dirt bike or a road bike?
It's a road bike.
Okay, and was your wife on board?
She is now.
Okay,
She is
Clayton,
now.
bigger question. You say that this bike is your pride and joy. Are you a father? And if so, how dare you?
No, I am not.
Okay,
Oh,
good,
okay.
good. But he's still a husband.
I should say it's my pride and joy when my wife is riding with me. There you go.
There you go. You're a smart man, and you're going to be married for a lot of years that way, Clayton. What was your last splurge that you're like, man, this was worth it?
My wife and I just bought a camper.
Okay, now, did your wife want a camper, and she was down with this the whole time, or did you talk her into it?
It was her idea.
No
Hey.
way! You've got the best wife ever.
I do.
So have you taken it out yet?
We haven't. Our first trip's this weekend.
Ooh, where are you going?
A local park here, Wise County Park.
Now, my parents, when they were in between selling their home and buying their new one, they had to live in a camper for 3 months. And did you realize, because I didn't realize, someone has to empty out the septic tank system? Nose goes, who has to do that?
Oh, it's going to be me, no doubt.
No, yeah. That's the downside of camping is like you get all the garbage work, you know. But it will be fun. Like my wife and I have talked about getting a camper. We went to an RV show and we were so down. We're like, this would be great.
Yes.
And then the camper we wanted, my truck was too small to pull it.
Go figure.
Yeah, I know. And so then I'm like, well, I can't buy a truck too and a camper. So we're out. Well, Jimmy, thanks for being on the show with us today, brother.
Yes, sir. Love listening to you guys every morning.
Behold God stuff.
Uplifting Way FM, this is the Wally Show, where we talk about the faith-type things in our lives that don't happen necessarily in church. And Betty Rock, you got this today.
Yeah, I was on Instagram and I follow Mike Donaghy, and he posted something that I really took to heart, and I thought I'd want to share that as well. So forgiveness is something we all find hard to do. It does not come natural to us. When someone wrongs us, we want vengeance, but if we're being honest, we realize vengeance doesn't solve the problem. It just makes the situation worse. Forgiveness is the only thing that will fix it.
Does it make it worse all the time? It doesn't help some for a little, you know?
Well, the big question is, how do we do it?
Yeah.
How do we forgive? Many religions teach forgiveness is possible, but for different reasons. So if you look at Buddhism, it says evil doesn't even exist. It doesn't matter. So you're hurt. That doesn't matter, so you should just forgive and forget. Judaism and Islam, they teach forgiveness is possible as long as the person who has done wrong grovels at your feet. But when is that going to happen, honestly?
I'd like it every
Well,
once in a
yeah,
while.
we would love that.
But it's not the way it works.
No, not at all. Well, Mike Donaghy, he recently talked on this. You know him as the front man for 10th Avenue North. In a recent post, he talked about how forgiveness is hard because in reality, we haven't actually dealt with our hurt like we should, and that only that can be done through Christ, and that's how he teaches it.
Everyone else is going to say to you, oh, you got hurt? Get over it. Time will heal it. Move past it. Cut that person off. Move on. Jesus says, we're not moving on. Your wounds, your hurt, put them right here in mine. At the cross is the only place where our hurt isn't dismissed. It can actually be dealt with. Have you dealt with your wounds, or are you still trying to dismiss them?
It's funny because we were just talking about this off the air, Betty and I, and like how sometimes you have this thing with somebody and you think you've dealt with it. You're like, yeah, I'm good. I've dealt with this. But then something comes up and it all comes rushing back. And I had this for years with a guy I used to work with in radio. I literally could be driving around and think, okay, we're good. And I'd see a car that was the same model as his. I'd get tense and angry instantly.
And see, that's no way to live life.
No.
And honestly...
tell me more.
I'm preaching to the choir here, honestly, because I am not perfect. But I think what it comes down to is if we're carrying that hurt and we want vengeance on someone, it's because we haven't dealt with the hurt.
Yeah.
We don't feel like we've been heard or seen or been validated. But our Christian faith teaches us that we have been seen, we've been heard, and we've been validated by Christ. And so if we believe that, then we can walk in forgiveness because he's forgiven us. We can forgive others.
Well, there you go. Words to live by, and something that I'm sure we all could be reminded of every day. That's your God stuff for today. Thank you, Rock.
TMI, my friends. Also known as Today's Music Insider with Gavin.
As of today, we are just a couple of days past the horrific shooting at Covenant School in Nashville that sadly took the lives of 6 people, including 3 kids. And for a lot of people, I'm sure the pain is still fresh and will remain so for some time. A lot of the artists that we actually play here on WayFM do call Nashville their home, and some of them even lived quite close to the school itself. And I think one of the main ways that God uses these people, these artists, in this time is that they have these songs that provide hope, and their lyrics provide hope. And there's one band, For King and Country, they actually posted on Instagram kind of a heartfelt letter about the situation.
Because there were a lot of people, when these things happen, everyone feels the need to say something, because by not saying anything, people think you're tone deaf and you're just aloof or you've missed it, you're not connected. So people searching for different insights into the tragedy. But you're saying For King and Country did as well?
Yes, they did. And they kind of started it off by saying that this hit really close to home because Luke, the taller of the 2 brothers who used to play basketball, actually used to practice. Like, they would open the gym, Covenant School would open their gym so that Luke could go practice in that gym. So he had actually spent some time in there, so I'm sure that hit close to him. But Joel actually went on to write, saying, I cry writing this, and often I diverge into feeling hopeless, but for hope that human heart can change, for the hope that there's life on the other side of this, and that the 6 of those who lost their lives are free and alive now more than they were when they woke up that morning, for hope that there's a brighter future of peace, and for the hope of God's redemption. Let us mourn together for Tennessee and America, but let us do so with the hope that only God can bring.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, because in the wake of tragedy, sometimes all you have is hope.
Yeah.
I mean, the hope that things are going to get better, because it doesn't feel like it today. You know?
Well, and I love, too, like what Lauren Daigle did, because she had... what was it, her album release party that was scheduled for that very night, and she actually canceled it but replaced it with a prayer get together and she invited anyone and everyone. And later I found out there were a lot of people there that were in the community. They weren't believers, but they just wanted to be somewhere where they could grieve in peace. And I'm hoping that some good will come from this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, really, that's all you can do, because you can't change what's happened, and so you can either just let it eat you up and consume you, or you can pray that God somehow uses it. Because I know, like, people were talking about this yesterday. They were like, the big question always comes up, how can a loving God allow bad things to happen? And the reality, the place I landed on was he allowed bad things to happen to his own son, for the greater good. And so I think that he set things up and he allows free will. That's how important free will is to him.
It is.
And that should tell us something, that it's important. Now, sometimes, sadly, somebody else's free will affects us negatively, but it's so important to him that he doesn't get involved. And so if that's the case, that's hard to wrap your head around sometimes, but it shows you that, like, how vital our free will is. And the thing that he does do, though, is if he doesn't get involved in those, he does use them to also help people, and you see people in their best in these times, and you see people pointed to God in these times. And so there's a lot of good that comes out of it. I hate that it happens, and I'd never say, oh, I'm really glad that happened so that people found God. I'm not at that point, but I am at the point where I can at least appreciate that some good comes out of bad.
Rock what you got, light up the lot. No one can rock the way you rock.
Uplifting Way FM, this is the Wally Show. If you have a kid that's into music and you want them to be influenced by, Christian music, there is nothing better than Camp Electric. If they want to learn how to be a better musician, this is a great place for them to learn how to do that, but also to grow in their faith. Camp Electric happens every year here in Nashville. It's going to be the 10th of July, and we're giving somebody a chance to send a kid to camp for free. Now, how does that work? All you have to do is tell us about a kid that you think should go to Camp Electric and why it would be good for them and what's their story, and we'll pick a winner, and they get to go and experience the community of being with other kids that love music. And it's a powerful thing. And Gavin, we've been getting entries in already, right?
Absolutely. So this is Erin. She nominated her daughter Emma, and I actually really love this story. She says She has grown up in her big brother's shadow since he's extremely talented athletically, academically, musically. Her talent is often overlooked. She is gracious and kind, but deserves a chance to shine on her own. Emma has a heart for serving the Lord and is an example of Christ in her community. She would greatly benefit from attending Camp Electric and building confidence in herself.
I love that. And that's a big part of Camp Electric because it's very collaborative, not competitive.
Yeah.
And they have fun, too. Like Colton Dixon's going to do a disco night. He'll be performing. Ann Wilson will be doing rodeo night. And they do worship nights all the time. And that's a big part of this. And so we can't say enough good about it. My daughter went for like 7 years. Loved it, made friends that she still keeps in contact with, and it's such a great experience. If you'd like to find out how you can send your kid, it's really simple.
Text ROCK to 91979. We'll send you the link. That's ROCK to 91979.
And the other part of this is it doesn't have to be your kid either. You could be a youth minister, a counselor, whatever, and you're like, hey, I think this would be good for this kid. You can nominate them as well. And like Betty said, ROCK to 91979. Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show, back by popular demand. Snap of the Judgment, okay? This is what happens. Betty Rock has a song, and actually 2 songs. She'll play a little snippet or the snap of it. We give our opinions, tell whether we like it or not. Then we play the hook and see if we change our opinion on it. Because sometimes you don't hear a song very much and you make a decision quickly.
Right, and sometimes we've heard the snap and we're like, bleh. And then we hear the hook and we're like, hey.
I'm in.
And sometimes it's the opposite. You
Absolutely.
hear the clip and you're like, that's not so bad.
Yeah.
And then you hear the full thing and you're like, ooh.
That went south. That happened for me last week. All right, so what's song number 1, Rock?
The first one is called Easy to Praise.
All right, here we go. Here's the snap.
Hallelujah.
Oh.
To the God who saves.
Oh, I went on a ride.
That
I
was
went
like
on
6 seconds of you doing
I went on a ride
backflips.
because I wasn't like I didn't think I liked the title Easy to Praise. So I'm like, I went in and then I heard that first God-da. I'm like, oh good, and then it had that weird off tempo thing.
Yeah, but I feel like there's potential there,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like that's a good kick drum or whatever you want to say.
Yeah, okay. So here's the deal, though. Like the way we do this is like if you have any hesitancy, you're out.
Yeah.
So you can be out like conditionally and say, well, I think it's gonna go. I agree with you, Rock. I'm out on the snap, but I do think it's gonna go somewhere good. Where are you at? You in?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm in.
Betty
I
Rock
like
is
it.
in. Okay, Gavin.
Yeah, that like took me by the collar. I liked
Did
it.
it really? Okay, and smacked your face. All
Yep.
right, here we
Ow.
go. Here is the hook.
Hallelujah. My song for all my days. Hallelujah. Unto the God who saves. Jesus Christ, my Savior. I'd be lost without your grace. You make it easy, so easy to pray.
Oh, and up at the end there, that was nice.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I'm not sure. There's parts of it I really, really do like. But again, if I'm like, I think I'm in.
That sounds like you're out.
I gotta be out. Unfortunately, I gotta be out. I do like it. But I don't love it yet. I think it'll grow on me.
Man, I love it.
You love it? Okay,
yes,
that's good.
I
Nothing
feel
wrong with
like I'm with Gavin. It took me by the collar and slapped me in the face.
Can I do that right now?
Yes,
No.
absolutely you can.
No.
Man.
Yeah. Gavin, are you in?
Yeah, it still had me by the collar, and it
Okay.
was just like, forehand, backhand,
Okay,
forehand, backhand.
fantastic.
I enjoyed it.
I like the visual.
Well, there you go. That's 2 people in, me halfway out, but I got to be all the way out. You
Yep.
know, you can't be on the fence, lukewarm. I'll spew you from my mouth. It's biblical. And so there you go. That's song number 1, Easy to Praise. And we got one more song to go. And the cool thing about this, too, is one of you will get to decide which song gets played in its entirety, because a lot of times the winner of Snap Judgment makes it into the rotation here at Way of M. So you have a lot of power now. We'll get that second song for you in 10 minutes here on The Wally Show. Here we go. Lady Rock, what is the song number 2 called?
This one is called Holy Forever.
Holy
Not
Forever.
just for a little time, but
Nice.
forever.
Yeah, exactly. All right, here we go.
Your name is the highest. Your name is the greatest.
I'm out. Very fast now. I'm out.
Well, why are you out?
Straight up worship. Song like every song that's ever been done before. It's probably Chris Tomlin, and now he hates me. I'm in trouble again.
Blasphemy over
yeah,
there.
I know. Yeah, it's just like that's one I could hear in church and be like, yeah, it's a good church song. I don't want to hear it on the radio. Sorry.
Wow, there is a lot of opinions being
Yeah,
thrown around.
I gave them all.
I will say this though,
Yeah.
like just so that you're not left alone in
Thank
that
you,
feeling.
Gavin.
I
Thank
thought, oh, is it wrong? I
Yeah.
thought it was a little boring.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to pay for that.
I
wow,
might. I
you
might.
two.
I was just kidding. I
on
loved
the other
it.
hand, I love Jesus and I
Okay.
love Jesus music. Therefore,
Yeah.
I am in.
Are you?
Oh,
okay.
boo.
I get it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's right in the pocket of modern worship right now. And so I get it. I'm not a big modern worship fan. I like it on Sundays. That's it. You
You're
know?
in the wrong line of business.
Yeah, I know. Well, but a lot of the other songs we play don't fall into that category. But you know what? We got to still play the hook.
Oh.
Maybe my
I know,
opinion
we-
will change.
I need to pull this audio for this artist when
No,
they come
please
in.
don't. No. That's what I hate about this bit, because then when we do have men and we're playing something,
You're
if
like, that was my favorite
no,
song.
I never do that. I just won't talk about it if I didn't like it.
And the angels cry, holy, all creation cries, holy, you are lifted high.
All right, Lady Rock, let's start with you. You were in on the snap. Are you in on the hook?
I like it.
Do you really?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. Okay.
Yes,
let me
I think
put you
it
down.
brings up a great point.
Yeah.
And
Which
some-
is?
Which is God is holy, not just sometimes, but
forever.
Not just a little bit.
Okay, there we go. Gavin, did you stay out on the hook?
I don't even believe that's a new song. I can't believe that's a new song. I think he's sung those lines before.
That might be the best quote about music ever. I can't even believe that's a new song.
I'm out.
All right, so Gavin's
Y'all are
out.
terrible.
I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna pour fuel on the fire or pile on.
you.
I'm just out as well. So there you go. All right, so it doesn't matter what we think. That's the beauty of this, though. Maybe that song connected with you like it did Rock, and you're like, I want to hear this song a lot. Well, call and tell us why. 855-33-WAY-FM. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. If you want to help us out with Snap Judgment, you got two songs to choose from. You got Easy to Praise.
Hallelujah, my song for all my days. Hallelujah.
And Holy Forever.
And the angels cry, holy, all creation cries.
You get to make the choice right now. 855-33-WAY-FM. Majority rules on this, and you could be the person that puts it over the top and gets your favorite song played here on WAY-FM. 855-33-WAY-FM.
Your name is the highest. Your name is the greatest. Angels cry, holy, all creation cries.
Uplifting WAY-FM. This is the Wally Show. Jude, welcome to Snap Judgment. You have a little bit of work to do here. You've heard the two hooks of the two songs. You have Easy to Praise, song number 1, or Holy Forever, song number 2. Which of those songs resonates with you and that you want to hear more of?
Number 2.
Wow.
Really?
Holy, holy. You know, I mean, with everything going on in our world, you know, we just need to go to God and say, holy, holy, so he can change things and get it to his throne.
Jude, that is a great point because I think as believers we should have a eternal perspective.
You're just laying it
Now-
on thick because I didn't like this song. And I don't think Jude does either. I think Jude's doing this just to spite me.
No, I don't like to spite people.
Who do you think sang that song?
You guys got me. I can't, I don't know right now.
It's got to be Tomlin. Is it Tomlin?
It's the legendary Chris Tomlin. Now, the
Chris
next time that
Tomlin,
he's
wow.
in the studio,
Yeah.
I'm going to pull this audio.
No.
We're going to play it and have an awkward moment, okay?
Oh.
Jude, the song you passed on, that was Easy to Praise by Patrick Mayberry.
Wow.
Well, you know what, Jude? You have proclaimed it, so we are going to play it. It is Chris Tomlin with Holy Forever. New music here on WAY-FM, and who knows? You might be the thing that puts this over the top and gets it added into our rotation. And a lot of people love themselves some Chris Tomlin, so here we go. For Jude on Snap Judgment, it's Holy Forever.
1,000 generations falling down in worship to sing the song of ages to the Lamb. And all who've gone before us and all who will believe will sing the song of ages to to the left.
I'll never forget taking my first compassion trip, and we went to Ghana, Africa. When we got there to the site, there was this little girl. She was 6 years old. I later found out her name was Vivian, and she would not let go of my hand. She followed me everywhere I went on that site. And later I got to meet her family. I met her mother and her siblings, and they all lived in this little mud hut. I mean, it wasn't big at all. And when I looked at Vivian, she had the biggest smile on her face, and she was just happy to be there, just happy to be with us. And it made such an impact in my life that I wanted to sponsor her right then and there. Because of my sponsorship for Vivian through Compassion, I'm able to write letters back and forth with her. I'm now getting updated photos, and now I think she's even taller than me, which is crazy to think. But I'm also able to see how my sponsorship is providing the food, clean water, and other support that she needs and her family needs to live the best life possible. And I can only imagine now with the pandemic, war, and weather disasters, there are so many other families like Vivian's who are dealing with hunger. So maybe you want to make an impact and sponsor your own Vivian. Just click the Compassion banner when you go to wayfm.com.
Uplifting Way FM. This is the Rock Report with Betty Rock.
Around the country, many are still reeling from the horrific shooting that happened Monday at Nashville's Covenant Presbyterian School, taking the lives of 3 children and 3 adults. Those who were in the area when it happened saw firsthand the fear and the chaos surrounding the children who were trying to escape the scene. One of those being actress Joan Hart. Her and her husband live in the area. She is known for her roles in the God's Not Dead movies, and she's also in some Hallmark films as well. I know her from, I think it was Nickelodeon's Clarissa Explains It All.
Yes, that's how I know her too.
Yeah, but her and her husband live close by, and when they saw what was happening, they jumped into action, but it left its impact on them.
We helped a class of kindergartners across a busy highway that were climbing out of the woods, that were trying to escape the shooter situation at their school. Wow. So we helped all these tiny little kids cross the road and get their teachers over there, and we helped a mom reunite with her children. And I don't know what to say anymore. Just pray for the families.
Those moments you don't expect to be in, and then you find yourself in them, and what do?
Well, and she was saying too that her and her husband, they have kids that are in a school that's right nearby. So they weren't in the Presbyterian one, but they were in one nearby. And this is the second experience her children have had, because they used to live near Sandy Hook.
Oh, you're kidding me!
And so her children have been through a lot.
It's almost, sadly, it's commonplace for them eventually, you know, like that's horrific. There was another story I saw of a mom, same type thing. She saw what was going on and wanted to help kids, and she rushed out. She's like, I didn't know what to say. She just was like trying to put them at ease. She's like, I'm a mom. Like, come over here. I can help you, you know.
Ugh,
and
sad.
These kids were like, just please help me get into this house, you know. And it's horrible.
I just hope that we never become numb to it. Like it's just another shooting or whatever. Like it's just sad that the children are having to be the ones that are almost like they're in the front line.
Unfortunately, yeah. It's because they're the easy target that makes the biggest splash in the news, you know, and I hate that these deranged people do these kind of things. And so, I mean, you're not going to stop it all. And so what do you do with it, you know, and how do you process it? And Joan Hart was right. She's like, just pray for people, because there's things that are beyond our control, and there are things we are never going to understand this side of heaven. And you know, you can get motivated and work for change, and you should. Absolutely, you should. But, you know, don't do that without praying too. So kind of two-pronged approach there.
Uplifting Way FM. This is the Rock Report with Betty Rock.
Around the country, many are still reeling from the horrific shooting that happened Monday at Nashville's Covenant Presbyterian School, taking the lives of 3 children and 3 adults. Those who were in the area when it happened saw firsthand the fear and the chaos surrounding the children who were trying to escape the scene. One of those being actress Joan Hart. Her and her husband live in the area. She is known for her roles in the God's Not Dead movies, and she's also in some Hallmark films as well. I know her from, I think it was Nickelodeon's Clarissa Explains It All.
Yes, that's how I know her too.
Yeah, but her and her husband live close by, and when they saw what was happening, they jumped into action, but it left its impact on them.
We helped a class of kindergartners across a busy highway that were climbing out of the woods that were trying to escape the shooter situation at their school. Wow. So we helped all these tiny little kids cross the road and get their teachers over there, and we helped a mom reunite with her children. And I don't know what to say anymore. Just pray for the families.
Those moments you don't expect to be in, and then you find yourself in them, and what do you do?
Well, and she was saying too that her and her husband, they have kids that are in a school that's right nearby. So they weren't in the Presbyterian one, but they were in one nearby. And this is the second experience her children have had, because they used to live near Sandy Hook.
Oh, you're kidding me!
And so her children have been through a lot.
It's almost, sadly, it's commonplace for them eventually, you know, like that's horrific. There was another story I saw of a mom, same type thing. She saw what was going on and wanted to help kids, and she rushed out. She's like, I didn't know what to say. She just was like trying to put them at ease. She's like, I'm a mom. Like, come over here. I can help you, you know.
Ugh,
and
sad.
These kids were like, just please help me get into this house, you know. And it's horrible.
I just hope that we never become numb to it.
Yes.
Like it's just another shooting or whatever. Like it's just sad that the children are having to be the ones that are almost like they're in the front line.
Unfortunately, yeah. It's because they're the easy target that makes the biggest splash in the news, you know, and I hate that these deranged people do these kind of things. And so, I mean, you're not going to stop it all. And so what do you do with it, you know, and how do you process it? And Joan Hart was right. She's like, just pray for people, because there's things that are beyond our control, and there are things we are never going to understand this side of heaven. And you know, you can get motivated and work for change, and you should. Absolutely, you should. But, you know, don't do that without praying too. So kind of two-pronged approach there. Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show, and we play a lot of great music on the show. And there are a lot of people that do Christian music. And they're make some valiant efforts at it. And I was reminded of this recently when someone sent me a video. They're like, have you seen this? And I'm like, I have not. And then I'm like, oh, I've seen this. And it just goes to show me that sometimes there are Christian songs that you kind of wish weren't. You're like, oh, you're on my team. Okay. You know, and this one went around years ago and someone sent it back to me. This is one that it's an earworm, honestly, and it's a guilty pleasure. Like, it gets stuck in your head. Jesus is a Friend of Mine by the band Sunseed.
So good.
Jesus is a friend of mine. Jesus is my friend. Jesus is a friend of mine.
I'm friend in Jesus. Love it. That is a bop.
Wait till the verse. Very staccato.
Jesus is a friend of mine. He taught me how to live my life as it should be.
Yeah.
He taught me how to turn my cheek when people laugh at me.
Oh, yeah. Does that happen a lot? Do people laugh at you a lot? I don't know.
We'll never leave you flat.
Hey! It's rough. You know, and here's the thing.
It depends on how you look at it.
Niche.
I appreciate the effort, and I do. I appreciate people writing songs about Jesus, but that doesn't mean that everybody was meant to do that for a living either, you know? There was this one that someone sent us from a church. We had posted this at one time, too, and we got like a cease and desist from YouTube.
Really?
Because I had made an edit of it, and they weren't happy about that. But the renewed mind is the key.
The renewed mind is the key to the power that we need.
Yeah.
The world is gonna see.
And honestly,
that it's Christ in me.
Yeah.
the vocals are only half of it.
Oh, yeah. The video, you have to see the video, because there's a white guy breakdancing that I'm sure the conversation was like, oh my gosh, Chad, you should totally do your breakdancing because you're amazing at it. And he did. And it is very stiff.
He broke dance for Jesus.
Yeah.
And that is a thing.
Yeah, and so we put together a little collection of Christian songs you wish weren't, and you can see them by texting the keyword that Gavin came up with, yikes.
Wow, selling him out.
No,
selling him out.
Come on.
Giving him credit because I thought it was a great keyword. Yikes. Why? YIKES, yikes, to 91979 if you want to see these videos. Now, you might have one, too, that you've come across that you're like, okay, I appreciate the effort. I'm going to applaud that. A for effort. Love that they're talking about Jesus, but it falls just a smidge short. If you've got one that you like, that Christian song you wish maybe wasn't, we'll take it, too. 855-33-WAY-FM. I still have two other ones, but I can't do all the goodness in one spot here. So, if you got one, we'll take yours. 855-33-WAY-FM. This one qualifies because it's kind of like your grandma's doing like karaoke, but it is cute though.
Well, the devil's in the phone booth, dialing 911. Well, the church is on their knees and they're loading up the spiritual gun.
I really can see Betty Rock and her roommate doing this for like your Halloween outfit.
That's a great idea.
And you could do the song together because Nicole
great idea.
is in a band and plays with Katie Nicole.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think
that's a great
good.
idea.
And so there you go. This one though might be the most egregious one yet. It's a Christian parody song, which is tough to do well. Of Eye of the Tiger.
Rising up, back on my feet. Got knocked down, rose above it.
Nice.
When the distance, I don't take no defeat. I will thrive, I will not just survive.
Here comes the hook.
Listen, before I was a Christian, something was missing. Felt a little distant, dark resistance.
I like that they're just like, you know what, this is normally where we would sing. Instead, I'm just going to put a rap in there. And it's like this workout guy, it's her husband. And he's going for it. There's the hook. But you know what? Again, I respect the passion. So, Michael, do you have a submission for a Christian song that maybe you wish wasn't?
There is a video. It's God is doing a new thing, like from Psalms 149. Is that?
Wait a minute, doing a new thing. Isn't that by DC Talk, like from back in the day with Toby Mac?
No, this is just a song, and 80s mom introduces a rap dance that her 12-year-old son does with MC Hammer pants on and everything. It is.
I'm looking it up right now. I'm seeing a little boy standing in front of some balloons. Oh.
Yep.
Oh, yep. He's like, that's the one. You got it.
Oh, bless.
All right, Rock, give me a little sample of it here.
My God is doing a brand new thing. Since time began, he remains the same. Faithful, I'm ready to his word and silent. A cornerstone unstirred. I look down through the ages and you will find God doesn't change, but he knows the time.
Well, Michael, this one would definitely qualify for maybe Christian songs you wish weren't, man. I appreciate you calling and sharing it with us.
Absolutely. Enjoy that.
And if you want to see the video that goes with some of these other songs, it actually makes it better. You can check those out. Just text the word YIKES, 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 to 91979. We'll send you a link. Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show. Doing a little best worst joke here. Now, the way this works is you are going to listen to 3 jokes that we tell. Each of us have a joke we put up. If we cannot steal the other person's punchline, the joke remains in contention. You then have to tell us which is the best of the 3 jokes, which is the best worst joke of them, okay? Then, though, here's where it gets tricky. You have to tell us a joke. If we cannot steal your punchline, you will then win a prize, okay? So you got to bring your A game on the jokes today. Anybody feeling particularly good about theirs?
I'm not feeling particularly good about mine, that it could be stolen, but I really wish that you wouldn't steal it if you know it, because I really want to deliver it.
Okay.
Because it's a great delivery.
What if we steal it and then we let you deliver it?
No.
Well, maybe we won't steal it. I can't promise.
Can we, if we know it,
can we just say you're out?
Can we say it, you just, close your ears, and then you can tell it?
I gave it away already.
Did. Okay, well, why don't we start with you, since it's going to be a train wreck.
Yeah.
This one is from Eric. What do you call a pile of cats?
Oh, okay.
A catastrophe?
No. A pile of cats?
Yeah.
You do I let you stay?
No, go ahead.
It's a meowton.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And Gavin, I have to tell you, you delivered that great.
No, he didn't.
No, I didn't.
You know, you did it so good.
This is how it was supposed to go.
You did it so good.
What do you call a pile of cats? I don't know, Betty Rock.
A meowton, yes.
What do you call a pile of cats? I don't know, Rock. What is it?
I don't know. Rock, what is it?
wanted.
Oh, okay. There
See
you go.
how well that would have been?
Yeah, you did make it
But
better.
You both are just
but you are
the
out.
worst
It was all
people on the
worth it.
face of the planet.
Okay, so you're out, but that was really cute the way Gavin did it. All right, I'll go next. What's a nose favorite sport? What's a nose's favorite sport? I'm not sure, but it's not running. 4th grade joke. Love it.
A little bit.
That was from Seth. Actually, Seth is 14, and he's like, I think you'll like this. So, and he was absolutely right. All right, so that one's in contention. Gavin?
All right, this one was from Jake, who is 9 years old.
Nice.
So, but it made me laugh. Why did the baby cookie cry?
I don't know.
Because its mother was a wafer so long.
Okay. I would go with the snot joke
I
personally.
would too.
The cat
This is
one
a
was
good-
the best, but unfortunately,
It doesn't
people
count.
ruined it for everyone
It
else.
doesn't count. All right, so
Rude. Too soon.
So okay, you have 2 jokes to choose from. You got to tell us which is the best worst joke between those 2, and then you tell us your joke. If we cannot steal your punchline, you will win a
You know
prize.
what would be so funny
What?
is if people were like, you know what though, that cat one was the best, and I still want to vote for it,
That
and
would be
that was
funny.
popular demand.
That would
Wouldn't
be
that
funny.
be
I don't-
funny?
I don't know that
I think
will-
it could be possible.
I don't know that person will end up on the air at all for too long. I
That's
might
terrible.
accidentally hang up on them. 855-33-WAY-FM if you want to play. 855-33-WAY-FM. Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show with you, Mariana. You are gonna help us out here with best worst joke. Now we stole Betty Rock's joke, so she's out of contention. The Meowton thing, and so now you have Gavin's and my joke to go for and tell us which is the best worst joke. So I'll give you mine one more time. What's a nose's favorite sport? I don't know, but it's not running. Good stuff,
Yeah.
right? Oh,
She didn't even laugh.
Yeah, that doesn't bode well for me. Gavin, give her your joke.
Why did the baby cookie cry? Because its mother was away for so long.
Oh, you sound like a child.
Okay.
All right, Mariana, what are you going for?
I'm going with the wafer.
Ah!
With the wafer so
All
long.
right. Congratulations, Gavin. Now, Mariana, you have a very tough job here. You have to tell us a joke. If none of us can steal your punchline, you're going to win a prize. So bring it strong, okay?
Awesome. How do you know when a joke has become a dad joke?
Oh, I know. I hate myself because I know this one.
Me too.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
don't.
You don't know it, Gavin? Go ahead.
When it becomes a parent.
A parent. Yeah. When it becomes a parent.
Yes, that's
Oh
it.
boy.
I feel guilty.
That is a good one. Yeah, that's right. She voted for you too, and you just took her out.
Why'd I do that?
Wow, what is
I
wrong with you?
know.
I would have
Wrong.
never
So
done
wrong.
that to you, Mariana, at all. But unfortunately, Gavin is not as good of a person as me.
Well, we'll have to pray for him.
Yes, that's a really good idea.
Thank
And you know
you.
what? Because you're such a good sport and because you are such a godly woman, we're going to still hook you up with a prize. And we appreciate you helping us out here on Best Worst Joke.
That's awesome. Thank you, guys. Love the show.
No, thank me. Gavin wasn't going to do it. Gavin shook his head no, like, don't let her have
No, I
it.
did not.
True. Forget Gavin.
Well, that's the end, but it doesn't have to be. Check out our Aftercast. It's new stuff you didn't hear in the podcast. Be sure to rate us on iTunes as well as connect with us on social media. That's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Just search Wally Show. And if you'd like to join our Facebook group made exclusively for you potties, the link is in the description of this podcast. Thanks to Colorado Christian University Online and United Faith Mortgage for supporting what we do.